So we all know that gray Jedi do not exist, which means that each Jedi has to choose to follow either the living force or the cosmic force. Unfortunately, they cannot follow both, regardless of what the Council says. Of course, we know by the prequel era, the Council becomes corrupt regardless. So what do they know? So outside of Qui-Gon Jinn, who truly follows true balance as the Jedi should? This starts with Legends Luke and Revan from the Old Republic. Legends Luke and Darth Revan are the only two characters who start off in the light side, who end up falling to the dark side and have a whole arc of returning back to the light side, but they do not come back the same. Both following a prodigal son journey, also becoming wiser for it. There are pros and cons of both the light and the dark side, but both of them have understood that there are limitations to both, but there are unique factors to utilizing both. Both have stated in separate entities. For Revan, he announces in the book Revan from the Old Republic that he is Revan reborn. And then Luke, who we see in the Dark Empire comics, is right before the books take off, where he does follow the dark side and then comes back into light, ends up being saved, which he learns and utilizes that there's a lot about the Force he doesn't know, and he becomes very wiser for it. And then when he starts his new Jedi Academy, that goes into it. A lot of his newfound wisdom and thoughts of the Force and his meditations are different. Same thing with Revan. Very uniquely in their own way. They're very similar in their own way as well. Both would become more powerful if they weren't limited to their ego structure and what was going on. Ironically, Luke is the only character that precedes his expectations and ended up becoming the most powerful figure of all time in the Star Wars universe, at least for in the book, the Fate of the Jedi series. He stated that the only being that he has not been able to defeat is Abeloth, and the only way to just keep her at bay and lock her back up was with Darth Krayt, which is the rule of one Sith Lord at the time. Very interesting with the two stories. We'd love to do more. Tell us what you think. Do you think these characters are very similar, very different? What do you think?